What's going on? We got football like every day for like, I don't know, like the next 2 months. It's the greatest fucking time of year. I love October. I love the fall. I love football. I love DFS. I love it all. What's up, new guy? I'm Degenerate75. I'm a DFS content creator who is here to help you get a little bit better at DFS. If you don't know, this should be tough, and you're doing so many things wrong and you don't even know it. I'm not going to give you picks. I'm not going to give you plays. I'm going to try to help you quit stepping on your own dick with a little word called process. If that sounds interesting, hang around for the next little bit. If you really find it interesting, check out that schedule. I do this show every Monday and Thursday. It's the Showdown, Hoedown, where if you're not particularly smart, we're going to be breaking down the Showdown slate for Monday night and Thursday night football. I also do my final live stream for NFL every Saturday night. I do college football. I do PGA. Come check it out. I'm the sweatiest tryhard you'll ever meet. And don't forget, tomorrow I do my preview show with Tambo. We will be over on the Mayo Media Network tomorrow, so come check that out as we get the juices flowing on Tuesday, and by Sunday we are ready to kick that ass. If you don't know, the big guy's not a poor. For every 50 likes we get over there, I'll be drawing a ticket where me and you will put it in the big millionaire maker, half millionaire maker tonight. I'll split the profits with you 50-50, and you get to build with me, which some people have said it's pretty cool. That's what some people are saying, all right? Well, without further ado, let's get going. Feel free to toss your questions over there. That's all you got to do to be in the drawing, and I will get to them at the end as we will be doing a little Q&A. All right? Hey, I got 3 things I want to throw at you tonight, okay? Contest selection. If you've been watching my show long enough, you know enough about contest selection to know that, like, my rules about what kind of contest you should be in. So I just want to throw 3 things at you tonight, or today, I guess, and I want you to consider them. You do whatever the fuck you want. It's your money, pal. First of all, a lot of you are going to put in the millionaire maker. Just know that 97% of the time you're going to lose, and 99% of the time you're not even going to get 3 extra money, okay? Just know that. That is the math of the millionaire maker, okay? But here's what I want you to do. I want you to just know these 3 things that I want you to consider. First of all, don't forget that they have second half football, right? So if you're struggling to find the nutted script for your lineups, well, then maybe watch the first half of the game, get a feel for how it's flowing, and then at halftime, go hop in these contests here. This second half only. I've seen a lot of my members having a lot of success playing in this, and it allows you to kind of get a flow of what the game is going to be like, and then really more accurately predict who is more likely to perform well in the second half. So that's one thing to do. Another thing to do that I've seen people like legit cashing like 75% of the times, consider just playing cash, right? Just go get guys who are good values, who are safe for a good workload tonight, and put them in a fucking cash lineup and go toss some double ups or head to heads, because you'd be amazed at the idiots people play in those, right? And the third thing I want you to do is I really want you to just consider, like, playing in contests. Just try it. Just do it one night with less than 1,000 people. Because let's say that you have a script and it hits. It kind of hits, right? Like you were pretty much right. But, you know, you still have that one asshole in your lineup. You can have an asshole in your lineup and be in a $50 single entry and still have a real chance at having a good sweat all the way to the end, right? Whereas you know as well as I do. You didn't play George Kittle last night and he scores that first touchdown. You're like, well, I'm fucked. Let's go to bed, right? In a smaller contest, you can survive when one of those guys does that, or one of your guys lays an egg. So those are the 3 things I want you to consider tonight. The second half playing, maybe playing cash, and playing in a really small contest, because even when your lineup kind of gets there, it can still get there a lot, okay? Let's get over to the Rosetta Stone. This is what I offer over at my site at dgen75.com. Yes, this is the watered-down YouTube version. It is what you're going to deal with. I'm not going to color it up all special for you. You get injuries, and you get salaries, and you get snaps, targets, and rushing games. That's all you get. This is what the fancy one looks like, by the way. Oh, that's fancy. That's the one from last night. All right, I think, as always, we should begin where we always do, and that's with the injury news. And there actually is some pretty big injury news that we could be sweating tonight, right? We'll start with Green Bay. Aaron Jones has been on the injury report. I imagine he's going to play, but there is a chance he could be limited. And at $10,000, that would really free up a lot of value for A.J. Dillon or maybe even Patrick Taylor. Ugh. So we'll be watching that one closely. Don't forget Christian Watson. This will only be his second week back from injury, and he didn't exactly play a huge amount of snaps on the first week, right? Yes, he got the touchdown, but he did not play a ton. So we have to wonder, like, what is Christian Watson's workload going to be? If it's going to be minimalized, that really adds a lot of value to Dobbs and Reed, okay? So that's the 2 big pieces of Green Bay injury news. Over for the Raiders, we've got Devontae Adams. He is on the injury report. Once again, it appears as though he is going to play. But if he is limited, or maybe is more likely to re-aggravate it or be on a pitch count, you got to be watching that. That would obviously open up a ton of value for Jacoby Myers, Hunter Renfrow, but maybe even some slime balls like DeAndre Carter and Trey Tucker. So those are the big injury news to be watching. If you don't know, injury reports drop. The actives and inactives drop 90 minutes before kick. So roughly around 6 o'clock in the Lord's time zone tonight, we will be getting those, right? be looking for that. But more than that, I would be watching for any type of Scheffner bombs about, he's going to play, but he might be on a pitch count, because that can really affect and give you an advantage, right? Sometimes the best injury news is when a guy plays, but he's going to be limited, right? Because it really opens up a lot of value elsewhere, okay? All right, let's get over to the slate. As you can see, we have a 1.5 point spread on a 45 point total. So a medium pace game with a competitive environment. As always, the home team, being the favorite, will probably be slightly more owned. They'll probably be about 40% percentage points out of those 600 higher owned tonight. So if you want to be different, the first place you could do is simply play the underdog. That's always a way to just get a little bit different. A 4-2 Packers build will be very different. A 5-1 Packer build will be different, right? So that's something you can consider right there. But within that, you can also consider some alternate scripts. I think with a 45 point total, the sloggy narrative, these teams can't move the ball script, will be pretty low, right? I also think that a lot of people are probably not going to want to play a wild shootout narrative. So those two right there can get you a little bit different. In a shootout narrative, of course, we want to focus more on wide receivers. We want to focus more on the quarterbacks, and in the slogs, kickers and defenses and tight ends get a big boost in those, right? But I think the most common thing you could do tonight is just think about your roster composition. Most people are going to be with 3-3 builds tonight. In a competitive total, 3-3 builds are almost always the most common. The Raiders will probably be at the captain more frequently than the Packers. So if you want to go with 3-3 build, maybe consider putting a Packer at your captain, and that will get you a little bit different. From there, if you're willing to run 4-2 Packers, that will get you a lot different. And that roster composition right there probably does more than anything. Your roster composition and your narrative will give you more of an edge than anything. Because what's going to happen, depending on the contest you're in, is you're going to get in like a 20-person train, and then you're going to be that winning first place isn't going to be that great. All right, just breaking it down, going position by position. Jordan Love has been solid this year. Not great, has not been the kind of breakout star I was hoping he would be, but he also hasn't been bad. And anytime you see a quarterback under 10,000 on Showdown, they always have to be considered, unless they're a fucking loser like Desmond Ridder or something like that, or Zach Wilson, heaven forbid. Once again, the running back situation for Green Bay is fluid. I think Aaron Jones, if he plays, if we know he's going to be active at 10,000, is probably a little underpriced on this slate. I think that when he is active, he clearly still has that backfield to himself. In a competitive game environment, he could be pretty good. A.J. Dillon, I guess to put it mildly, fucking sucks. Yes, I get it. If he's going to get 12 touches at $4,600 and the goal line touches, he probably is a pretty good showdown play. He probably is, okay? But I just telling you, the guy's not good at football. But that doesn't mean he can't be a good showdown play. To me, the real value for Green Bay exists at the wide receiver spot. If Watson is going to be limited, Dobbs and Reed are probably both underpriced, as they likely move up to guys who are going to be seeing 80% of the 80% of the snaps, and probably something like 50% of the target share just between those two. If you really want to punt, I think Devontae Wicks is kind of taking over that spot from Torrey. He is probably going to be a little bit chalky because those $200 guys are nice, but he is a guy who is now getting 60% of the target share. You got to remember, a lot of that was when Watson was out, but also 3.3 targets. Ooh, I could see him getting there. I could see, if you think this game's going to shoot out, I think Wicks becomes almost a must play, because he is going to be on the field a lot, and he will probably get his 3 or 4 targets, and at $200, if he falls in the box, he's a nutted play. Luke Musgrave's a dude I really like. He's a guy who's getting 4 targets a game, playing most of the snaps. He kind of has the tight end spot to himself, especially the passing game tight end spot. So he's a viable option at $5,200. This is why I'm telling you, a 4-2 or a 5-1 Green Bay build actually kind of makes a lot of sense. I could see Jordan Love, one of the 2 running backs, and then 3 pass catchers getting there, and then you just run it back with whatever Las Vegas stud you want. A Devontae Adams, a Josh Jacobs, or I guess Jimmy Garoppolo, if we want to call him a stud. Green Bay's kicker Carlson and their defense will be dramatically under-owned. Road defenses and road kickers go way less under-owned than the home team kickers and the home team defenses. So keep that in mind as alternatives. If you want to play Jordan Love, a running back, 2 pass catchers, and then maybe a defense or a kicker, that is a way you could reasonably build a 5-1 Packers build, and it would be a little bit different than everybody else's, right? Holy shit, 121 people on a Monday? Let's go, you tryhards. By the way, don't forget to hit that like. Get me up to 100 likes. I'd love to do 2 drawings today. Going over to the Raiders. We've got old Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, what do you want me to say? The guy's solid, right? He's probably going to get no less than 15 points and no more than 22, right? That's just exactly who he is. Josh Jacobs, on the other hand, probably is the most interesting guy on this slate. We have not seen Josh Jacobs have that big breakout game this year. But, man, when he's getting that many targets out of the backfield, he clearly has this backfield all to himself. To me, he seems like the most appealing play on this entire slate. They're going to be at home. Rather, if the Raiders get ahead, Josh Jacobs is going to be in a great script. If the Raiders get behind, he's still going to be out there getting targets. It's like Josh Jacobs is almost script proof, right? He is a very, very hard guy for me to fade tonight. He just makes sense in almost every single build because Amir Abdullah might get a couple third down plays, but it's still Josh Jacobs out there the majority of the time. And Zamir White, well, he fucking sucks. So he's not going to take any action away from Josh Jacobs. The wide receiver room it's Devontae Adams. You know, I imagine he's going to be 100%. I'm not too worried about any injuries with him. He is a true alpha. He is getting 12.5 targets a game, something like 40% of the target share, which is just crazy. You know, like you could just run Jacobs and Adams and then go run 4 Packers, and I think that will not even be that common of a build, especially if you leave a little bit of money on the table, and especially if you put one of those Packers in the captain spot. Jacoby Myers, weirdly enough, has clearly become the number 2 wide receiver there. He is very, very good, getting almost 9 targets a game, and at $7,000, if I'm being honest, he's underpriced. I would take Myers probably over any of the Packers wide receivers, and he's cheaper than 2/3 of them, right? So Jacoby Myers is really good, and at the expense of that, it is crazy to me to see Hunter Renfrow is just fucking falling off the face of the earth this year, right? Little scrappy white guy in the slot, he done. It's just like he doesn't exist anymore in that offense. If I were going to play a third wide receiver from the Raiders, it would not be Hunter Renfrow. I'd probably take a punt on old DeAndre Carter or Trey Tucker, right? At least they're more explosive. Hunter Renfrow is just dusty. At the wide receiver, I think that the tight end spot for the Raiders is pretty interesting. Hooper and Michael Myers. It is October. Watch out, everybody. Watch out, babysitters. Michael Myers is going to get you. I know it's Mayor. Shut up, dipshit. Okay, so these two are interesting just because they're both so cheap. So it's going to be a tight end on the field, and a great mathematician once told me, if you're on the field, you have a chance to score points, right? That is what a great mathematician once told me. So Hooper and Mayer, none of them are. They're only getting about 1/3 of the plays, and they're only getting about on average 1 target a game. But if that target is down on the goal line and they score a touchdown at $600 and $200 respectively, I think that those could be good plays. Daniel Carlson, not to be confused with old Anders Carlson, is the kicker for the home team. He will be dramatically higher owned because of that. And the Raiders defense at $3,800, a price discount and being at home, I assume will be higher owned than the Packers defense. And when you got Max Crosby, there's always a chance at a sack, a fumble, and a return, right? That's always on the board. So, long story short, there's plenty of good plays tonight. The great thing about this game is there's about 1 million different ways to construct your lineup to make it really different. We have multiple options at the wide receiver spot for both teams. You can really diversify your build, and to me, these are the best kinds of slates because it's not like everybody's gonna get into that same narrow. You know, they're not all gonna be funneled into the exact same build. There's 1 million different ways to creatively build your lineup tonight, and these are the best kinds of slates. Okay, let's get to questions. Let's get to the drawing. Get me up to 100 likes over here. I see 126 people, 72 likes. That means we have 50-something douchebags in here. All right. Hey, don't forget to check out my site, djn75.com. Things are going great. We're doing awesome. We've got a brand new collage coming out tomorrow, but here's our one from last week. Check out all these winners, 20,000, 20,000. You will never see me celebrating my victories. It is always about the community. I am here to help them learn how to be sustainable at DFS, and if you do it long enough and you're sustainable and you have a good process, you can hit that big one and becoming a winning player, okay? I also try to provide everybody with a tool that has everything you need: ownership, projections, targets, ceiling, optimal rates, everything you need. This is called the Rosetta Stone. This is what I give all of my members. And I give them these tools, and I give them all this extra content, and we do a stream, all of it, and we do this crazy thing called not fucking price gouging. You should be able to get everything you need for NFL DFS and put your money into your lineups and not into your tout sites, okay? And just because September was the biggest month we've ever had, to thank all of you guys, we now have a code called New Guy. And New Guy, if you sign up, 10% off your first month. If you want to try it out first, simply just go sign up for my newsletter. If you sign up for my newsletter, which is in the description of this video, we'll give you a free week. You see that little support right there? That will get you signed up, okay? Just reach out to them on Twitter. They'll get you signed up, all right? And you'll try a free week, and then you'll just fucking sign up anyways because people love it over there. I do golf. I do NFL. I do Showdown. I do college football, and I'm even going to start doing a sport in February. Guess what that is? All right, let's get to the drawing. Editor, right now I see 78 likes. Go ahead and draw me one name from the chat, and then we will do another one once we get to 100 likes because we're definitely going to get to 100 likes. So right now, while he's doing that, and by the way, at the top of the hour, 1 o'clock, go watch my dudes over at Ship It, Hoop, Tambo, and Tidal. We'll also be breaking down this Monday night slate. Yes, I know that's last week's thumbnail, but fucking sue me. We didn't have time to get this one. It doesn't matter. Their show's at the top of the hour. Go watch them at the top of the hour, all right? The winner is Bread of All Trades. I know that guy. That's our winner right there. Once we get to 100 likes, editor, make sure to draw another one for me, okay? Let's go back to the stone while I answer some questions, and then let me get a quick swig of the cold brew. Afternoon, I'm drinking cold brew. I'm going to be up all night, brother. All fucking night. All right, here we go. Answering questions while you donkeys that are just now getting here, you lates, while you or no, what do we call you? The slows. While you guys hit the like button. We appreciate you. Can a 5-1 Raiders with no Jimmy get there? Absolutely, Mr. Pentrini. A 5-1 Raiders, I don't even hate that build. If it's Jacobs and Adams, those are two usage monsters, right? Maybe you mix in the kicker and the defense, which aren't particularly related to the quarterback, and then you just go play whatever punt you want, right? Rather that as a backup running back. Maybe you want to mix in Myers, or maybe one of the punt tight ends, and then run it back with whoever you think is going to be the usage monster with Green Bay. I think that lineup makes a lot of sense, okay? Especially if you think the Raiders are going to win this game, something like 28-10, 28-14. I think that lineup makes a lot of sense. I do not hate. If you like the Raiders tonight, I really like a Raiders 5-1 build, because that is a way that you can play the Raiders and still be different than everybody else. And if you guys haven't noticed, the 5-1 builds have been getting there an awful lot this year. Lunch with Uncle D-Gen. How much love for you have for Love? You know, he is kind of due for a big game, and the Raiders are kind of known for giving up some big games, and it's in the Dome. This kind of has all the makings to kind of be Jordan Love's breakout game, so I would say I'm pretty warm to him. It's Banjo 30. You get it, man. Love the banjos. Why do you hate money? Hit the like button. Nick gets it. How the heck are the Raiders favored here? That is a good question. I think it's weird. I think, usually the rule is you get 3 to 3.5 points for being the home team in the NFL. So probably if this was on a neutral field, Green Bay's probably a 2-point favorite, because it's in Las Vegas. I think that's where they're getting it. But I agree. It does seem weird, Delbert. Adams' revenge game narrative alive and well. Yeah, I mean, you ain't got to sell me on a good narrative to play Davante Adams. Let's not forget, Davante did play Green Bay. They did let him go, and Davante Adams is probably one of the greatest wide receivers in NFL history. So if there's ever a guy who has a payback narrative and could also do it, it would be Davante. Does ownership work the same as in golf? Aaron Rodgers is 10% owned at captain. Do you need to play? Yeah, I think that's a good rule. Yeah, I never hate that, right? The only reason that rule exists, Corum, is just to help you with leverage, right? So, it's just a way that if you like a guy but you think he's going to be owned, well, just get leverage on him, right? If Jordan Love's going to be 50% tonight and you want to have leverage on him, try to get him at 80, 90, or maybe even 100% of your lineups, and then you do have leverage on him, right? Let's see. Looking for questions. Travis says, if your narrative is low scoring, are you leaning more kickers or defense? I actually like them both. If I'm playing for like a 16-13 game, often I will have 2 defenses and a kicker, or 2 kickers and a defense in there. But generally, I don't love that narrative tonight, but that is how I would do it, Travis. Josh Jacobs breakout game. I love Josh Jacobs. I mean, if you I hate to be that guy that does picks, but he is so due for a breakout game that he makes all the sense. And I just feel like he's script proof. That's the one thing I could say about Josh Jacobs. It feels that way. Will Hoagie have his head in the game, or will the casinos be too close? You can't play Hoagie when there's a crap tables near. But save that till Wednesday, donkey. Why don't you smash that like button, new guy? Yeah, we're up to 88 likes. Nick with the super chat. The Stone was fire last night. Yeah, I saw Nick won a GPP last night, and then they stat corrected after the game, and he ended up getting second. That's some bullshit. Still had a nice payday. Thank you for the process. I mean, that's what it's all about, Nick. We're about the process. I hope you guys watch my retrospective over on my site today, because I did a big, long thing about why it is so important to focus on what you're doing. If you're playing GPPs, you're like, man, I always lose in this. This is stupid. GPPs are a losing proposition until they're not. Okay. Song list. If I fade both quarterbacks tonight, should I still have at least one pass catcher from each team? Yeah, I don't mind that. A lot of times one pass catcher won't get quarterbacks there, right? So if you think that Romeo Doubs and Davante Adams are going to be true target hogs and they're going to get most of the catches and most of the yards, well, that's not going to get Jordan Love or Garoppolo there, right? It usually takes 2 pass catchers to get a quarterback there. So I could see that song list. What was Sunday's football watching Gorge Mill? What the fuck did I have yesterday? Schlotsky's. I was filling a big old Schlotsky sandwich. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was pretty good, Bob. It was pretty good. Look, I try to be disciplined in my eating Monday through Thursday, but Saturday and Sunday, we go ham. Literally, I went ham on my on my Schlotsky's. All right, for the single entry GPP, how close to cash style do you want to build No, I fuck cash. Fuck a cash build. Just because it's single entry, don't build like a cash lineup. You still want to build your narrative. You still want to be bold because you still need to be different. I think the key to single entry is you just really are going to see the dividends if you hit your narrative, right? I will still play. Like if I like a punt, I'm going to not play him just because I'm going to play him. I'm not going to not play him because it's a single entry. I'm still going to play to win. I'm still going to make a build that fits my narrative, and I'm not going to be afraid to be bold. Cheap guy, not named Renfro to use. I don't know. I think there's a lot of them. I think one of these punt tight ends, Hooper or Michael Myers. It is Halloween. Wicks. I think there's a lot of good cheap options tonight. But I don't give picks. Fedor. How many rules or exceptions do you make when using the solver? I've noticed the projections help build the narrative. Yeah, so I like on Showdown, I don't put near as many rules. On the week long, I do quite a bit, Chris, but not a ton for Showdown. So less than 7 would be my answer. What's going on, you motherfucker? Let's have a day. I'm in for it, Mark. I'm in for it. 95 likes. Oh, shit, we're almost there. Thoughts on fading both QBs in builds tonight? I think it could get there. I don't trust either of these guys unless you think it's going to be a shootout. If you think this game's going to be 28-24, I would guarantee you almost certainly one of the quarterbacks gets there. But this is a game where you could fade both quarterbacks for sure. I got 9th in the second half last night and haven't played it yet. Hey, let's go. I'd love to hear that, Brett. Adolfo, how would you optimize the solver, by ceilings or projections? I like 50% ceilings, 50% projections, right? Especially in GPPs. Now, if you're just doing like a cash build or something, I usually just go only projections. What do you think will be the most common build tonight? The most common build will be a 3-3 Delbert and then probably a 4-2 Raiders right after that. That will probably account for about 60% of the 60% of the builds. Try hard the like button. There you go. Hey, I don't recognize that name, main event, but I like the cut of your jib. Is the revenge narrative overrated? Yes. Yeah, most narratives are overrated except for golf. Then narratives are where it's all at, right? And by the way, at golf, it's always just go against what all the fucking idiots are saying is the narrative. He doesn't hit well off of Zoyjagroth. You can't play him. Okay, whatever. Is the Raiders defense bad enough to make A.J. Dillon even look good? I don't know about that. Yeah, probably. A.J. Dillon's going to do good just because I shit on him. Let's see. Hooper and Mayer on the cheap. Yeah, I think they're both 50-50, man. I guess probably Mayer just because he's the rookie and he probably has more explosive ability. But, Hooper, you got to watch him. He has a sick crossover and a fadeaway J. Do you play props off of your projections in the stone? Yes, I actually got some people that have been doing that. They just look over here and they look at the point projections we have on the stone, and they will use that to do it. And they've been having some success. T-Swin is one of those guys. Do QBs and kickers do the same? Do QBs and kickers from the same team correlate? They can, but it's usually more the running back and the kickers that correlate more, right? Because so many points from a quarterback is getting those touchdowns. And if quarterback's getting a lot of touchdowns, they typically are not giving those field goals to the kicker. That's why quarterbacks and kickers don't always correlate as well as a running back and a kicker. Both Carlsons from the two kickers, same. No, I mean, if you think it's going to be a slog fest, you play it. 99 likes. I got 99 likes, and you ain't one of them. Yeah, you like that one? Fade Jones and hope he's still limited. Yeah, you could do that, but I'm not fading him unless I get word that he is going to be limited. The one guy you're playing tonight, I don't do that. That's a golf thing, and I don't even fucking wish. I wish I didn't even do it for golf, but people love the fucking videos. What do you want me to say, Bob? What do you want me to say, okay? With Watson back, if he's not limited, what do you think his targets are? I think he'll get 8 targets. If he's full go, I guess 8 targets. Tingus Mingus, play Aaron Jones at captain. I think you're going to get good ownership on him. Yeah, Nathan, I tend to try to get to all the questions. That's why you should really save your questions till I get done with my spiel, because I'll answer a lot of it. Editor, I see 103 likes. Go draw. Go give me a drawing. How much do you put into Couch potentially losing a locker room? Seems like McDaniels is losing that. I don't know. I think these are professional teams. Like college teams, you can lose the locker room. It's just not as common in the NFL. Do you think Minnie will do an onslaught tonight? Yeah, I don't think so. I think that everybody thinks the 49ers are gods. Nathan Drake, let's go. Not to be confused with Kenyon Drake. You have won. We will build a lineup tonight. You motherfather. All right, getting back to the questions. Joanne, thank you for being here. What's for lunch? I haven't decided. Probably maybe a smoothie. I think I'm going to have a smoothie, actually. Gotta get my protein in, like I'm on like a gym bro diet. Can Jimmy G, multiple pass catchers, get there in a shootout? Yes, definitely. Since you were talking about the joys of playing cash, how do you and how good a spot Jacobs is in? Yeah, he would probably be a guy that would be a auto play in my cash lineup. Hey, big guy, who's the kick in the nuts play tonight? Well, it's Showdown, so, whoever you fade, that'll be the kick in the nuts. Let's see. How many Canadian Thanksgivings for me? Yeah, hey, by the way, Canadian Thanksgiving, I'm actually going to be on the Fantasy Golf Degenerate show tonight with Kenny Kim because of Canadian Thanksgiving. Tambo needed a fill-in. I'm always down to hang out. More Packers fans today than Vegas fans? More Packers fans today than Vegas fans. Probably. It's a shit show when it comes to their fans. DK isn't giving out daily missions anymore. I saw that too. Like they're going to limit them. DK they just can't quit stepping on their own dicks. Hey, Gamel, I don't recognize your name. Any QB captains in a shootout? I think a QB captain makes a lot of sense. If you made me pick one, I would go Love over Garoppolo, but I actually kind of like some of the other guys at captain more just because I'm not wildly excited about Love or Garoppolo going off. I think they're good flex options. Andrew Love breakout game on Monday Night Football? I don't think so. By the way, how did Oklahoma do against Texas? We beat their ass. Okay. Primetime Aaron Jones today. I mean, you don't got to sell me on Aaron Jones. Higgabanu, are you willing to tell us your one guy? Nope, I am not. That's pick bullshit. Go watch the other streams. Report the crowd could be 50-50. Yeah, I agree. But you know what? There's also traveling and factored in home field advantage and just the friendly confines. All those Raiders guys got to sleep in their own bed last night. Is there a better brother kicker narrative? Can't be. You got to go with the brother kicker. They're both brothers, so they both don't kick field goals. All right, is Aaron Jones' injury designation meaningful? I mean, we'll see. If he's active and we don't get any word he's going to be limited, I'm not too worried about it. Maybe DK Saturday. Yeah, fuck them and their stupid stat corrections, motherfathers. Let's see. Highest projected own captain. Go look at the stone over on my site. If you're not on the site, sign up for the newsletter and get a free week. Will the running back be the highest own with both defenses being pretty shitty? No, I think pass catchers will be higher owned than the running backs tonight. Just my guess. Is creating a lineup with the master degen on my bucket list? Well, you got to win the drawing, dude. Just keep being in here. You'll win eventually. Nick won last night. If Nick can win, that's proof anybody can win. I got to quit making lineups. Too many seizing any injuries, guys I pick. Yeah, crypto, you just destroy careers. I hate to see that. Renfro Crafton, not in this lifetime. That guy he has just disappeared off the face of the earth. If you want to play him in the flex, go ahead. But play him in the captain, just send me your $15 now. DJ and Kenny, holy crap. Yep, it should be fun. Let's see. Just saw a tweet. Jones unlikely to play. There you go. That's really big news. If Aaron Jones is unlikely to play, I think that opens up a ton of value, obviously for A.J. Dillon and maybe to a lesser extent for Patrick Taylor. So if Aaron Jones is out, that changes a lot, and I think that a lot of the strategy should be factored in. So, matter of fact, with Aaron Jones being out, that kind of makes me like everybody from Green Bay even more, right? I really am feeling like a 5-1 Green Bay build because their usage is going to be so concentrated, and then run it back with Jacobs. Or a 4-2 Green Bay build and run it back with Jacobs and Adams, right? I kind of like that. I kind of like it. Thank you for that update, Steven. So, anyways, guys, I'll probably be doing my stream for all of you that are over on the Discord. I'll probably be doing the stream a little later tonight because I am going to be recording that show with Kenny Kim, the Fantasy Golf Degenerates. So, probably 6:15 or 6:30, I'll keep you posted. There is a chance I might have to get somebody to fill in for me. For the rest of you, I encourage you to come sign up using the code NEWGUY or just try a free week signing up for it. Don't forget, you can use that little code. The Twitter support right there will help you get signed up. Just show them that you signed up for the newsletter. They'll get you over on the site. You won't regret it. Don't forget to go check out my boys at Ship It. They are going live now. Guys, this has been real. I appreciate all the likes. I appreciate all of you being here. We'll see you again Wednesday night for the PGA stream. And, of course, tomorrow for First Look with Tambo over on the Mayo Media Network. And don't forget, lunch on Thursday with the big guy. Let's break down Thursday Night Football too. Guys, this has been fun. This has been real. Appreciate every single one of you being here. But for right now, I need you to enjoy this outro. Pal.